In today's video, we're going to be going over the financial benefits of house hacking. This video is perfect for someone that's looking to house hack, or maybe you own a single family home. You're going to definitely want to listen up on this one, or possibly if you're considering investing out of state or far away, because at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of benefits that house hacking itself brings to the table, even in a market like New Jersey, where we have high taxes, high property values. There's going to be a major argument as to why house hacking is far more beneficial than investing out of state or further distances away. So stay tuned on this video. Make sure you stick around to the end, because you're going to want to hear all of these. They are very, very important and crucial for getting you to financial freedom. My name's Shawn McEnteer. I am the house hacking realtor of Northern New Jersey. My wife and I have been house hacking for over a decade, and our goal is to get you to financial freedom and reduce the mistakes that we made. We want to make sure that you don't make those same mistakes and pay the stupid tax that we had to pay. Low money down financing is hands down one of the most powerful tools a house hacker has. When you're able to put down 3.5%, 5% with an owner-occupied loan, meaning you don't have to pay that extra investor percentage, that is so huge. If you were to buy a property out of state, like my wife and I were very heavily thinking of doing when we first started, we would have to put 25% down and very, very likely get a much higher percentage point on lending. Most of the time, it's 1% higher. So you're paying substantially more to acquire a property. And I know a lot of times you'll see they look attractive because you look at a property, maybe it's a couple $100,000, whereas a place like Northern New Jersey, where it's $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, maybe $1 million to buy a multifamily property, and you see a $200,000 property. But when you run the numbers on that, you still have to put $50,000 down just to acquire the property. Whereas a $500,000 property in Northern New Jersey, you could put $25,000 down and acquire a property. So when you look at the owner-occupied laws around lending, it's very, very beneficial for house hackers. You don't need as much liquid cash as you think. Whereas if you want to buy a strict investment property, whether it's out of state or heck, even in state, you still have to come up with a lot of liquid cash. So the owner-occupied lending laws work so much in your favor when you are house hacking. There is a caveat though to this, and that is the fact that if you own a single family home, it's tough to get an owner-occupied loan if you're buying a duplex, a triplex, or a quad. What lenders will look at is they want to see that your standard of living is not decreasing, and for whatever reason they consider you going up in units not to be an increased standard of living. They actually think of it as lowering your standard of living, even if you're buying a substantially nicer place. It's just what lending does. So you want to make sure to keep that in mind. I know this because, once again, my wife and I lived through this experience. Our very first property was a single family. We were actually house hacking that property. We had a roommate that was paying some of the mortgage, and it was awesome, it was great. But we knew we wanted to scale much faster and get to more properties that were much more lucrative, meaning multiple units paying multiple rents. So we ended up selling that single family, moved back in with my parents, and then bought duplexes and duplexes, because we were able to owner occupy those properties doing the low money down loan. Whereas if we kept that single family, it would have been very, very tough to do a 5% down loan. Huge financial benefits of house hacking is close proximity to where you are. Plain and simple, you're living in the property. So you are very, very close to your rental property, being that you're occupying it. Whereas if you're investing out of state or you're investing counties over, you do have to travel. You have to account for all this. So being able to manage a property at first, maybe you're new to property management, so obviously you need to learn how to manage your tenants. Anything where you're going a long distance, you're gonna have to hire, outsource it all, and this isn't cheap. For example, property management tends to be 8%, 10%, which is a lot of money at the end of the month that you have to pay just for an entity to make sure that the tenants are still there, when most of the hard work is done up front, screening and making sure that you're getting the right people in your property. So really plain and simple, being able to house hack, you're gonna be right there next to your tenants, very close proximity, and you don't have to outsource all this stuff. If problems come up, you're on site, you're able to handle them until you get your team in place and get everything situated. Quick tip, if you don't have a team and you need a team and you're in northern New Jersey, why don't you drop a comment below, because I've got a team in place that specializes in house hacking so we can accelerate your journey for you and move really fast and efficiently. Hey, before we keep going, make sure you click subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos just like this. Massive financial benefit, especially for those of you looking to house hack in northern New Jersey, is the landlording laws are very, very beneficial if you're owner occupying a property, meaning the New Jersey courts and our legislation will side with an owner occupied individual if there is a dispute with tenants, meaning maybe they're not moving out, they don't want to move out. As long as that lease is run out, obviously a lease is always binding, but once the lease expires and you want to maybe not have those tenants anymore, you ask them to leave, they move out very easily, where it's really tough for them to put up a fight and stay. So the owner-occupied tenant laws and the owner-occupied landlording laws work in your favor in northern New Jersey heavily. So getting rid of tenants, it can be much easier, which you've heard some of the horror stories of northern New Jersey and New Jersey itself, where sometimes it's tough to evict people and it can be a little costly. Not so much if you're an owner occupant. Hands down, one of the greatest financial benefits of house hacking is the fact that you're going to be having someone pay a good portion, maybe all, or have a bulk of the mortgage payment, and you could be living in a unit for a very low amount each month. So when you look at that expense, whether you're paying a mortgage, everything yourself by renting, or paying the entire mortgage in a single family like my wife and I were doing previously, now you're gonna be living in a duplex, triplex, or quad, and someone is gonna be paying a good chunk of that change for you, so you don't have to work every single day to pay a mortgage. You get a little bit more freedom back, and that is, to me, one of the best parts of house hacking. That's it for today. For more videos like this, make sure you click subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.